Well, hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're really happy to have Michael here, Michael Drake. Thank you for your time today. As we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the Queen Silvia Nursing Award that we have, in which we will be, honoring a student or a nurse who has a great idea in dementia care and serving people living with dementia. So we have Michael here to talk a little bit more about his experience, the application process, any tips, and then we'll have a Q&A available as well afterwards. So thank you so much, Michael, and I'll hand it over to you.
Hey y'all, let me share my screen. Whoever is the host, can they enable screen sharing, please? Awesome, thank you. All right. Here we'll do this. And then we'll put that here. And then yeah, everybody can see my screen, right? Okay. Yeah, so my name is Michael Drake. I'm going to talk about the Queen Silvia Nursing Award very quickly. My pronouns are he, him, from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm a second career nurse, so I used to work in the video game industry. Had some experience in education as well. I graduated this year, and my interests are in palliative, especially in regards to dementia care, end of life, and critical care. And that's me with Azita, the Dean of Nursing. I was the winner of the Queen Silvia Nursing Award for 2021. And yeah, that's me at the Royal Library in Stockholm, Sweden, with some flowers. So what is the Queen Silvia Nursing Award? It's an international nursing award founded by Her Majesty Queen Silvia of Sweden. It's a platform and awareness initiative aimed at improving care for older adults. There's 7 countries. These are the winners, including me, of the Queen Silvia Nursing Award in the different countries. So Germany, Lithuania, Sweden, Portugal, or Brazil, sorry. They speak Portuguese, Brazil. And then Poland, and then me, and Finland as well. And University of Washington is the only participating school in the US. And so this has been running for 2 years now. This will be the 3rd year that we're doing it. So whoever wins will be the 3rd winner for representing the United States. And what do you get? You get an award of about 6,000 euro. So that kind of equates to 6,500 USD. And then there's the ceremony. This year I got to fly to Stockholm. It was the first time that a United States winner was able to fly to Stockholm due to the pandemic. And then you receive an award from the Queen of Sweden. You do that in a royal palace in a big ceremony. A lot of people are there. It's pretty cool. My idea centered around an application called QRX. And what that basically was this application that anyone could use to create and send information about care transitions, care coordination, all this sorts of stuff really easily between different parties. And so if you were a caregiver of someone with dementia and you had you're a family caregiver for someone with dementia and you had a new caregiver coming in that wasn't aware about your family member's specific presentation of dementia, you could put that in this application and then share it to that new caregiver really easily via a QR code. So this was kind of like an example. When I presented to the judges, I created a prototype showing how QRX could work. And that's kind of a screenshot from the prototype. You know, after winning, I was still in nursing school. I found out I won in December 2021, and it was a huge deal. And so I finished up nursing school, but because I won that award, I was able to go into a UW program called CoMotion. What CoMotion does is it takes different teams of people at UW, usually students, who have an idea for a business or a nonprofit or a product, and then helps them go through a process to see if that product will be viable. And so I spent, winter and spring quarter doing certain CoMotion stuff to test my idea and see if it could be used as a business or a startup or a nonprofit. And then I got to fly to Stockholm, Sweden. I spent about 6 days, I think, about in Stockholm, just traveling, really, just getting to visit the city. And then I did all the Queen Silvia stuff. I got to go to the royal palace and then also the royal estate where the king and queen of Sweden stay, and eat dinner and meet the other winners, meet heads of state, meet like billionaires that are involved in dementia care. And I'll get to why that was important. We also got to see it was called Silvia Homet or Silvia House, a place, a day center where people with dementia can go during the day while their caregivers are at work and socialize with other people with dementia and just participate in activities. It was really, really cool. And then, yeah, that picture down at the bottom is me with the Queen of Sweden. It's real surreal to keep saying I got an award from the Queen of Sweden. So I always smile a little bit when I have to talk about it, because it just is like still a little bit unreal for me. Why you should apply? I think you should apply because it's a prestigious award. A lot of the conversations I had after winning were with people that funded tech startups, that funded different ideas. And one of the reasons why I got my foot in the door in those meetings was because I won the Queen Silvia Award. It is a rare opportunity. I never thought I would fly to Sweden and meet the Queen. I never thought I would win an award like this. I never thought I'd meet the people that I would meet. And so that opportunity was wonderful. And then, yeah, the award money was very, very nice. That kind of went into developing my idea. And it's wonderful to have that. I don't want to gloss over the money as if it wasn't an important thing. I think it is an important thing. And it's okay if that's one of the reasons you want to apply. I think it's okay. But there's a better reason. There's a real reason I think everyone should apply. And that is because we need new nurses with innovative ideas who advocate and care for people living with dementia. Because one of the things that you learn in this process is that other countries really prioritize dementia care. And they do it in a very smart way and a more empathetic and thoughtful way than I think the United States does. And because we don't prioritize dementia care or really even think about it as much in the way that other countries do, it's a lot worse in the United States. And at least in my cohort, there were not a lot of people who were interested specifically in dementia care or improving dementia. They cared about it, but they weren't very interested in it. And so I think that's a problem. And, to tell you where the state of things are, dementia care in the United States is expensive. It far exceeds care for any other disease, more than heart disease, more than cancer. And a lot of that expense is wasted expense. I have sources for all of this, by the way. If you want to private message me, I could send them. It is also highly inequitable in the United States specifically. And so all of that cost of care and all that waste and all of that medical errors that cause costs to go up, that happens disproportionately. So it happens to African Americans much more than non-white or non-Hispanic white Americans, especially. And they're discriminated in care as well, at much, much, much higher rates. People of color are discriminated at much higher rates in their dementia care. So we need nurses that are coming up with innovative solutions to these problems, but also care and come from those backgrounds. And then dementia care is not good enough. People living with dementia have 3 times as many return hospital stays, which means they've gone to the hospital, they didn't get the care they needed, and therefore they've had to return than healthy individuals at that same age. And then poor regulation of the skilled nursing and the assistive living industries has led to specifically people of color, but especially people with dementia, to have way worse quality of care than people don't. And I think one of the things, the spirit of the Queen Silvia Award is to highlight these things. It's to say this is very important and we need new innovative solutions because this is a far bigger problem than almost anything really in the medical sphere. Is it costs a lot, it takes a lot, and it's disproportionately poor for many different people that are not non-Hispanic white. And so we need ideas and people to come in and apply for things like these, because it's going to bring awareness to dementia care. And then also, if you come up with an idea that you want to develop, the Queen Silvia Award is going to help you quite a bit. And so with that in mind, I think, I hope someone applies. I hope y'all think about what this award means, that it is definitely more than the money and the trip. It's a way to highlight the importance of dementia care. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for my presentation. Do y'all have any questions? All right, so I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if you have any questions, or if this is recorded, like you say, it's Quiggle, Q-U-I-G-G-L-E-M, as in Michael, at gmail.com. And so I did see a hand raise real quick. Oslam? If you don't feel comfortable. Oh, hey, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for
well.
sharing your experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was joining it from Turkey, actually, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hi from Seattle.
Hi, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, Michael, how if you could talk a little bit more about how the application process was for you, and how you came up with your idea? Were there ways in which what might have sparked your idea and inspired your idea?
Yeah, so the application process, basically you create a brief describing your idea. So it could be, some people wrote an application process or down in paper. And then once that's accepted, you create a short 60 to 90-second video going over your idea. And that could be, you just talking to the camera and then recording that based on and describing your idea. I chose to kind of edit a video showing my idea. And so once I was kind of accepted, and then you kind of go into semifinals from there. I believe there is a short period in between when you apply and when you submit the video, that there's a voting that goes on between semifinalists and the top two semifinalists, I think. I'm kind of having trouble describing it because it was kind of interesting to go through. And then you go, and if you're in the top three of the ideas that were selected, you go and present in front of a panel of judges. And so that's some people from University of Washington. Some people are heads of industry or companies that work in dementia care or care about dementia. Sometimes it's like a leader of a nonprofit that's done work in dementia care, or connected to Sweden as well. And so then you presented that, and depending on what they decide, you might win or not. And I actually applied once before in 2020, the first year it happened, and I became a semifinalist, but I did not win. I think that was Rick Campbell that won. But in the second year, I got a semifinalist and I won. And then that idea came from personal experience. I was a caregiver for a family member, and I would have to constantly re-explain care for the family member. It was my mother, to caregivers all the time, new caregivers coming in, or she saw many specialists, and I would have to constantly explain that. Or even my family, I would have to constantly explain what she needed, her medications, what was going on, where her current state was, what was her baseline. And so I wanted an automated way to do that. Had to use Excel sheets, sometimes Word documents, all these different things in addition to verbally reciting these issues, or the information that they needed to know to take care of her. And so I wanted an automated way to share that information easily. And so if you're thinking about what to do, your idea, try to think of a problem that you have had, or you would know other people have had, that is deeply personal to you, because then it will help you come up with a solution that is from the heart, that is relevant, that you can express and express deeply, express in a way that resonates with the judges. That's why I think I won, was I was able to use my personal experience and communicate it in a way that was deeply personal and that people could relate to.
Thank you. That's really helpful to kind of see, like, how people can kind of come up with these ideas, and really just coming from personal experience, and maybe even in their clinical experiences, they might
Yeah.
have been able to, yeah, interact with people who had cognitive impairment and stuff. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a wonderful presentation. Really informative, and yeah, I really appreciate all of your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other questions that anyone else has, or Christine?
Hi there. Hi, Michael.
Hey.
Hey, I have one quick question. Oh, let me put my hand down. So you mentioned that with your application process, you brought in a personal experience for that
Mhm.
to help with your application and just being able to go through this process. For some of us who don't have that life experience, that personal experience to weave into this process, if I want to apply, do you have any other examples or suggestions that could be integrated or could be used as, say, as part of that, in place of that?
Yeah, like you could use what you've been learning in nursing school. You could use what you're interested in. My first year, I had this idea about using virtual reality headsets to give to people with dementia so that they could look at places or photographs or be in certain areas. On Google Earth, you can actually explore cities and streets in a 360-degree perspective and live in it, basically. And that was based off of research I found where that had helped people with mild to moderate dementia recall certain events in their life that were very special to them. And that was very beneficial to them, the research had found. And interestingly enough, that was not selected. And I was like, wow, that I understand. That might not be practical. And then this year, this Queen Silvia, someone in Lithuania, the Polish winner of Queen Silvia, that was her idea and it won. She had an idea for a virtual reality headset given to people with dementia so they could relive or experience the environments their memories had been built around, right? To like recall certain things. And I was like, I was right. And it had nothing to do with my personal experience. I never put a virtual reality headset on my mom. That was just something I had read, something I thought was very interesting. And so I think that's an absolutely valuable strategy, is like, what are you interested in? What are the problems you've seen? What if you look up problems in dementia care, what is happening? How would you be able to solve it? And kind of go from there.
Nice. So it sounds like you did research into your idea and kind of did a little bit more background of like just trying to understand the plausibility of your idea and everything. Do you have any research tips of how you're doing that research?
I would put, I put like innovative solutions, dementia, PubMed in Google, or put like, I would put different research terms or like inequities of care, dementia, PubMed, and see what kind of comes up. And then I would go through those papers and look at what they were sourcing and kind of read about some of the things that I wanted to learn more about, but to see if there was a solution to a problem that they were writing about.
Yeah, I see. Very nice.
Yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I don't want to monopolize anybody's time if there are other questions, but one of the things though is that I had, and that was really helpful, what you had shared is, for this type of proposal, it might, it sounds like it could be quite extensive in some way. And writing that out is, say, not a strong suit. How do you have any tips or suggestions for how to approach that writing, like during, as you're creating that, in terms of did you find that it was important to incorporate all of the medical terms, or, like the terminology related to the field, or could it be just very um, uh, easy to understand, right? Like what sort of writing approach did you take for the application?
I tried to be very, very simple as possible in my writing approach when I was writing the application and writing my videos. I tried to use no insider knowledge is what I call it. And if I did have a term that people may find hard to understand, or you would have to have insider knowledge to know, I would find a different way to describe it. I'm trying to think of a specific example. My idea uses security protocols to ensure that the data that is in it is protected. One of them is called AES 256 encryption, and no one's going to know what that is. So you just say, security, like security features, strong security features. And actually, if that makes it more accessible for everyone to understand, and it made it better, my application better, because it was like a super easy way for someone to understand exactly what you were doing. And so you don't have to rely upon medical terminology. In fact, it might help your application to kind of exclude that or find different ways to explain things. And yeah, I actually think the simpler, the better. So does that answer your question? I hope it did.
It really does. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to apply, right, I'm thinking about the people who are reading it, and the people who, I'm not going to know who they are, and what sort of experiences they have. And so I'm afraid that putting all that investment in something that I'm interested in, for this really great award, that my presentation might be sort of lost in translation, so to speak. And so I just want to make sure that my idea is translatable and understandable for someone who is, say, not wholly familiar with it. So thank you. That was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other questions or any things anyone else has? Wow. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for your time and guiding us through this process and sharing your winning idea and your experience in Sweden. It sounds amazing. And yeah, congratulations to you. So
thank you so much, y'all. Have a good day.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.